the real life Barbie. Smash the like button like Sandy Cheeks.
In the past, I was trying to almost exploit my audience to receive views, receive money, receive attention, validation.
So we had 1 million subscribers like a little over a week ago, I think.
I was just feeling lost creatively and feeling like, dang, what even is my identity on this platform? I grew up in a super small town, 3,000 people.
A super small family. It's basically just my dad. Like, my mom's not in my life. It's me and my dad. We are like a one-man band, or two-man band, I guess would be the term. My dad needed help raising my brother and I, so we moved to Eagle Lake. I'm like neighbors with my grandma. She was an amazing mother figure for me growing up. So I just owe so much of like kind of the person I am to her and how formative she was.
You know, she was awesome. She was like my best friend.
My grandma always encouraged me to shoot for the moon.
You have an advantage being from this small town because sky's the limit. Like, there's no dream too big.
If I could really like identify sort of my past and my childhood growing up, the pattern that I noticed the most is that I would kind of pick something and make it my identity and try to become more of a perfectionist at it. I'm gonna play trumpet. I picked it up and like I would literally go home and practice every night. I was first chair. When I was about 14, I really started getting ambitious and passionate. And yeah, I started learning about coding. I set out a bunch of these goals. The first thing was, you know, track and cross country.
Running was the one that I could do and not get physically pummeled by other bigger boys.
So in high school, I picked up running and I was not good. Like, I think that's very important to realize. Like, I didn't necessarily have a clear route.
So yeah, 8th grade, I was terrible. I got last place every time in track at a small meet. I went to a school, my graduating class was 80 people, super small school. So if you get last at one of those meets in 8th grade, you are the epitome of garbage.
When I was like 13, my grandma ended up passing away, which is like super sad. Like, that was absolutely destructive for me.
You know, I remember one of the last times I saw her, it was going into track season. It was my first year running track. I promised her that I would win a race.
You know, I kind of like put a chip on my shoulder at that point where I feel like, okay, I'm pretty much on my own.
You know what, I'm doing this. I wanna try to pursue excellence in this. That would mean winning state. And so I basically made that my goal.
Today is like the most important day ever because it's like the last day I can get any physiological benefit from a workout before state. We only have about 4 more days until state. Final session before state. 4 years later, it's the last workout. Ran on this track thousands of times.
I spent like 4 years running every day, like rain, bad weather, whatever, and just got progressively better. I just worked really hard. And so a lot of my identity was in running. Like, oh, I'm a runner. This is like what I do.
Freshman year of high school, I had like an 8-minute mile. Senior year, I ran a 4:15 mile.
Hey.
My identity was in that moment, and the moment didn't go according to plan.
Kyle edged me out by 1/10 of a second.
And I had envisioned that race thousands and thousands of times, and I lost by a mere snap of a finger.
2017 valedictorian, Ryan Trahan will give his address.
When I was in high school, I was getting ready to go to college, and I sort of had the option. I was like, am I gonna get a summer job, or should I try to like make some money in some creative way? Senior year, I started this water bottle company, and we're like selling these water bottles at school, 20 bucks a pop. It was called Neptune Project. Ultimately, we did have like 800 bottles out of the 1,000 remaining. My school is very small. But the craziest thing, the coolest thing of all is that's why I started my YouTube channel. I wanted to reach more people to sell these bottles because we had an absurd amount left over. I started posting running videos and like, oh, get your Neptune bottles. They'll help you with hydration. I'm starting off the morning with a big fat 36-ounce water of Neptune. Then I went to college, Texas A&M, and I was running cross country and track. And then 3 months in, I had another question. And I was like, is this gonna be my thing? So like, what happens whenever the finish line is passed? Who are you, you know? Like, you're just kind of left standing there like, well, all right.
When I got to college, what I realized is like any other goal I could arbitrarily set wasn't real for me. Like, winning state was super real in my heart, but when I got to college, I couldn't like locate that type of passion. And so running, I was just doing it out of discipline.
I get a call from the NCAA advisor at Texas A&M, and they find out about the bottles, and they find out about the YouTube channel, the fact that I'm making money. Yo, this guy's making money. and he's running collegiately, and that's not allowed. They reach out and kind of give me this ultimatum where essentially they tell me you can't use your name, image, and likeness and be on the Texas A&M team and continue making money on your YouTube channel and bottle thing. I had about 20,000 subscribers at the time, making like a couple $100 from AdSense.
I am stoked. We had 20K on YouTube. 20,000 big ones.
I was just paying rent, essentially.
These are the two biggest things in my life. They're asking me to throw one out the window. It feels like I'm getting punished for trying to do great things.
But over time, in one way or another, we become victims to complacency and resign ourselves to mediocrity. Because what happens, and it's a very scary thing what happens, is you start limiting yourself without even knowing it, without even taking a step back and questioning whether or not you're capable of more, whether or not you deserve more.
As you can see by the title, I have to drop out of college.
I had a conviction to drop out because I felt that this YouTube thing was really pulling on my heartstrings, and it felt like potentially this could be like this next dream that I want to chase.
I personally believe in myself so much, and so it doesn't really matter what happens to me. I truly believe, like deep down in my heart, that I'm going to succeed, and I'm the kind of guy that's gonna work for it.
YouTube was my passion, so I was like, I'm gonna stop running, I'm gonna drop out of school, and everyone thought I was crazy.
They tell you that you should dream big, but not too big. They tell you that you should work hard and get a safe job, not necessarily a job that you love.
They saw how hard I worked to get to school and like have a scholarship, and the idea of throwing it away for a guy getting like 8,000 views a video on YouTube.
To the people saying I'm making a mistake, fair enough, but you can't judge me until the summer of 2021, when my peers are graduating college. And I have a feeling, a very strong feeling, that good things are gonna be happening a lot sooner than that.
They tell you that you can't make it to the pros, you can't build a great company, you can't build the house of your dreams, you can't make a real difference, you can't change the world. You can't.
My dad was supportive. He's like, I've seen you do it with running, I've seen you doing it with band, whatever, I've seen you do it with school. I believe in you.
Give me some time, but we're gonna get there. Love you guys so much. I'll see you tomorrow.
Whenever I dropped out, I was able to really double down, triple down. Like I started uploading great videos 3 days a week.
The real life Barb. I think when I had about 40,000 subscribers, I posted my first commentary video. It went from about, I would say, 30,000 subscribers to gotta be 1.5 million or so. I just see it as like a phase of like my career that just I don't really resonate with anymore. I never had a girlfriend, and Haley, my wife, was my first girlfriend. Tell me why I met her at VidCon. Haley is Christian, and when we started dating, I was not. I was atheist, cynical atheist. Conversation after conversation, she was like very gracious with me. Ultimately, I did land on Jesus, and I started, developing a relationship with God. Now it is my source of joy. Like, it is my source of love. It is my source of everything.
I am in a position right now where I want to create out of love and gift my audience something. You create for restoration. So instead of toiling for rewards, you create for restoration. I haven't had a flop since having this mindset.
This is a penny, and I'm gonna use it across America in the next 30 days.
You're coming off of, I think, what is the biggest series you've ever done?
Well, Paul and Blake, you guys single-handedly donated 1 million meals.
You were on the trending tab multiple times. You were #1 on trending.
Thank you. Finally, after 30 days of watching, I have finally received a penny.
Frankly, just baffled. Every day I wake up, I'm trying to pinch myself. Let's make sure this is not a joke.
My life is so easy now.
I need to put myself in some cool, fun situations and hang out with the viewer.
When you completely pursue everything you're passionate about, life has a way of making sense